Hello dear students, I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this video which is on the topic Prim's algorithm, find minimum cost spanning tree. In the previous two videos, we saw method to evaluate minimum cost spanning tree of a graph using Prim's method on paper. We used a graph maybe of 6 vertices and I explained the steps to find out minimum cost spanning tree using Prim's method. Now, assuming that you have seen those two videos and you know the method in and out, it will be very easy to see how to write algorithm for minimum cost spanning tree. Let's start. Now I have taken a very small graph because the execution of the algorithm will become very easy on such a small graph. It's a 4 vertex graph. So let us be given a weighted undirected graph of v vertices. Now notice v is 4 here and e edges. Now notice e is 5 here. 5 edges graph it is. And let dist u comma v represent distance between two vertices u and v. For example, in this graph, if you are asked what is dist of 1 comma 3, then it is going to be 5, because you can see that there is an edge from 1 to 3 and distance between 1 to 3 is 5. But if you are asked what is dist of 2 to 3, now you will notice that there is no edge from 2 to 3, hence there is no distance. Then we will say distance between 2 to 3 is 0. So the rule is that if the two vertices are adjacent, that is u and v are adjacent, then dist u comma v is the distance on the edge. And if u and v are not adjacent, then dist of u comma v is 0. Actually, the notation that we have used is the notation of adjacency matrix. So we are saying that this graph is stored in the memory of the computer in the form of adjacency matrix, and the name of the matrix is dist. So for this graph, 4 vertex graph, what will be the dist matrix? You can see that distance matrix is going to be as shown. You already know how to draw a distance matrix. It will be 4 by 4 because there are 4 vertices. As an example, you can see that dist 2 comma 4 is 2. So second row and fourth column is 2. And it is undirected graph, isn't it? As it is undirected graph, as 2 to 4 is 2, 4 to 2 is also 2, you observe. Isn't it so? So we have already stored this graph in the form of dist matrix. Now what else? Let's read the comments. We know what is this dist matrix now. Now du represents distance at vertex u. Now you recall in our method, we said every vertex is having a variable called d. And d for the first vertex was 0, but for other vertices, d was infinity, isn't it? For all other vertices, d was infinity. So this can be very well modeled by using one-dimensional array D, and you can see that D is a 4-element array because there are 4 vertices, and D1 is going to be initialized to 0 and other elements are going to be initialized to infinity. So that is the variable we used to write on top of each vertex. Now that variable has been represented as an array. Also you notice, let pu represent path to vertex u. So you recall for every vertex we had a variable called p, and p was null in the first step. For every vertex, path was null. So this can be modeled by using an array called p. This array is also going to have 4 elements as there are 4 vertices, and all the elements of p are 0, that is null. Okay, so now what? We will start reading the algorithm, but notice while reading the algorithm, you can easily relate to the previous two videos where we saw the procedure for a prim. Nothing it is, we have just put it in the words. Whatever we used to draw in the form of pictures, we have put it in words. So let's start algorithm prim. First step, let current equal to 1. Now this current is an additional variable used and is initialized to 1, which indicates that we are starting to process first vertex. This variable current is very important because current will tell us which vertex are we currently processing. So in general, we will say we are processing current vertex. Also, d, that is distance of that current vertex from wherever we begin, should be 0. So d1 has been initialized, you can see, as 0 here. d1 is 0, but all other elements are infinity. Yeah, we could have written that other elements of d are infinity. It is not written, you assume it is written. Okay, next step is mark vertex current as visited. So vertex 1, because current is 1, is ticked. It is marked as visited. Actually, in C program, we will be using some flag. We will have to use a flag. Let's say visited is a flag, and visited also will be an array. So the first element of visited will be marked as 1. It would be 0 initially, and so on. But let's not go into that details. Assume that some way we are marking vertex current as visited, that we are ticking it, and we are saying that it is now processed or getting processed. Now the next step is we are using a counter. We are saying let count equal to 1. Now this count variable will tell us how many vertices have been already marked as visited. I repeat, count will tell us how many vertices are already marked as visited. And don't get surprised to see count as 1. It should not be 0, it should be 1, because we have already marked first vertex as visited, so count is 1. Now the importance of this count, is that suppose after visiting 1, let's say we visit third vertex. I don't know, we will have to see the working, but imagine after 1 we tick 3. We say okay, 3 is visited. Then we will do count is count plus 1. We will increment count, and as count was 1, it will become 2. Now why is count 2 now? Because two vertices are visited, 1 and 3. Then after 3, let's say we visit fourth vertex. Then while visiting fourth vertex, we will do count is count plus 1. So count will become 3. Why is count 3 now? Because 3 vertices are now visited. So from the past videos that Prim's algorithm says you process all the vertices one by one, isn't it? So we have kept this count, a good idea. This count will tell us when to stop. We say while count is not equal to number of vertices, v. Now you notice count is right now 1 and number of vertices are 4. So this is true, and it means that some more vertices are yet pending to get visited. So we will enter while loop. You notice that while will stop, it will not function when count will be 4, isn't it? When will be count 4? When all the vertices are marked as visited, count will be 4, and we'll say enough. We have visited all vertices, so while should break. Okay. So right now count is 1. So we enter the while. Now check. In the while, we have got a work of processing the current vertex, isn't it? Processing the current vertex means processing the first vertex. But what do you mean by processing first vertex? Yes, processing first vertex means see the neighbors of one and compare the distances. You know it, isn't it? Just see current is 1, first vertex we are visiting. So processing first vertex means see the neighbors of 1 and compare the distances of those neighbors with the distances stored in the D array. But big problem is, how do you know who are neighbors of 1? Now somebody will say, come on sir, we have the diagram. See the neighbor of 1 is 3, neighbor of 1 is 2. But that's the diagram. Our computer algorithm cannot use a diagram, isn't it? Then our computer algorithm will use the matrix. I guess you have followed it. What it is going to do is, it's going to use the dist matrix, and so easily it is going to find out the neighbors of 1. You watch the dist matrix drawn below. Whose neighbors you want to know? Neighbors of 1. Then you just go through the entire row, entire first row you just go through, and in that row, wherever you are finding non-zero values, wherever you see non-zero values, that vertices are neighbors of 1. So 2, 3, 4 are neighbors of 1. isn't it? But what do you mean by going through the entire row? Going through the entire row means going through first column, going through second column, then third column, then fourth column, isn't it? That means you need a for loop. So that's why we have written here in the algorithm for W is equal to 1 to V. Just check W here is going to be column number. And what is row number? Come on, row number is 1. That is current. So we are going to every time check current row and W column. Current row means it is the first row, and W column means W is going each time from 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you run the for loop, you will see three neighbors, isn't it? First time W for which this condition will be true, that the condition which I am ticking will be true, is when W is 2. Come on, when W is 1, it will be false because 1 is not adjacent to 1. Now, what is this condition checking? You see, the very first condition, what is that condition all about? We are asking, is distance of current comma W not equal to 0? Assume that this is true for some W. Distance of current comma W is not 0. That means current has a neighbor called W because the distance is not 0. It is positive, isn't it? So when will this condition become true in this for loop? First time it will become true for 1, 2. When W is 2, 1 to 2 is not 0. Okay. So now once you know that one has a neighbor called 2, you then check the next condition. What is the distance between current and W? Now you see distance between 1 and 2 is it is 10. Distance between 1 and 2 is 10. Dist matrix tells us. Is it less than dW? Now dW is infinity. All the elements of D array are infinity except D1. So this condition happens to be true. That means the new distance that you have found, that is 10, is much less than infinity. And also we check whether that W is not visited. This is so important, isn't it? This condition is so important because you will update the values of D array only if that adjacent vertex is not yet visited. And you see 2 is not yet visited, isn't it? Only 1 is visited. Hence both the conditions are true. Both conditions are true. So we will update two values now. We will update dw and we will update pw. That is d2 will become equal to 10. Look, I am updating d2. Check the d array. D array is updated in such a way that d2 becomes 10 and p2, observe p2, that is pw, becomes current, that is p2 becomes 1. This is what we used to exactly do in our working. We had d equal to 0, d equal to 0 and p equal to null at first vertex, but we had d equal to infinity and p equal to null at second vertex. But when we saw that distance 10 is less than infinity, we updated this d to 10 and path was 1. That's what we have exactly done. Similarly, you will see when this for repeats, the next neighbor of 1, that is current, is going to be 3. That is 1 comma 3 is not equal to 0 in the matrix. So 1 is adjacent to 3. Then we will see what is the distance between 1 and 3. Distance between 1 and 3 is 5, which is seen from dist matrix, and it is less than infinity. D3 is infinity, and also third vertex W is 3 is not yet visited. So it's time to update D3. D3 will be 5. The distance between 1 and 3, that is 5, and P3 will be 1. Similarly, fourth vertex also will be updated to 6, D4 is 6 and P4 is 1. By the way, the for loop has checked all the columns in the matrix, isn't it? All the columns in the matrix have been checked, and you will see that we have found the neighbors of first vertex and we have updated the distance of those neighbors. I guess you have followed. Now what? Now we announce that vertex 1 is completely processed. The vertex current, that is vertex 1, is processed. So what was the next step is, after the for loop, we will say let current become equal to vertex at the closest distance among unprocessed vertices, isn't it? Now those vertices which are not yet visited, that is 2, 3, 4, you check which is having least value of d, and you take that vertex as the new current vertex. Now you observe the D array. Distance of second vertex is 10, distance of third vertex is 5, and distance of fourth vertex is 6. So obviously you will be selecting third vertex. That means the value of the current variable is now going to be 3. It was 1 all this time. Current was 1, but now current is 3. And we have got a new vertex to process. What we immediately do is, the next step is, we mark that current vertex as visited. So we will tick the third vertex. We will tick the third vertex, or we will set the flag of the third vertex, and we will do count is count plus 1. That means count will become 2. Recall, count was 1 because only one vertex was visited, but now two vertices are visited. So count becomes 2. And now we go in the while loop. You know that while will repeat, because the condition of while is, while the number of vertices visited, that is count, is not equal to total number of vertices. Now count is 2 and total number of vertices are 4. So we still have some vertices to visit, and we will process vertex number 3, because current is now 3. So third vertex will be visited, isn't it? And this goes on. We are not tracing the entire process for all vertices, but just tell me what will happen when you are checking, when we are processing the third vertex. Who are the neighbors of 3? How will you know who are the neighbors of 3? Start a loop again from W is equal to 1 to V, and every time you take the third row, you see the dist matrix. You're taking the third row and column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So you are checking 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 4, and you are seeing who are the neighbors. Current and W will be neighbors only if distance is not equal to 0. If the distance is 0, then they are not neighbors, isn't it? And then we compare the distance of current and the neighbor with dw, and only if w is not visited, we will update dw and pw. By the way, readers are encouraged to run this entire algorithm for all 4 vertices by substituting the values and drawing the diagrams, updating d and p array. By the way, what happens when the while ends? Come, just imagine that the while ends means all the vertices are visited. Now, if all the vertices are visited, we are sure that we have found minimum cost. That is, we have found the answer, and the minimum cost of the spanning tree is sum of all the weights in D array. You just add all the elements of D array and you will get the minimum cost. Although this D array will not give, because we have not traced the entire algorithm. But I think finally minimum cost in our example will be, I think this 3 will be included. This is very small edge. 2 will be included, and I think 5 will be included, and 6 and 10 will be dropped. So there won't be any cycles. So 5 included, 3 included, 2 included, which means the minimum cost is supposed to be 10, isn't it? The spanning tree will have minimum cost as 10. When we return in the next video, we will see analysis of this particular algorithm. Believe me, it's going to be very easy. The time complexity is very easy for this. By the way, I'll just tell you the time complexity of this is big O of V square, where V are the number of vertices. Just in few minutes, we will do a complexity of Prim's algorithm using adjacency matrix. Thank you.